Welcome back. This is The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts on News Radio 570 WSYR.
Help, I need somebody. Help, not just anybody. Help, you know I need someone. Help.
Thanks for sticking around right here on 570 WSYR 1069 FM. You're listening to The Local Show, tuned in, I would imagine, on purpose. Some people might stumble along and find it, and then they hear Steve's voice and they go away, of course, and then they come back and they hear me and
they fall asleep.
You never know. But yeah, this is The Local Show, and what Steve and I try to do, we're both from Zoe Advertising, and a while back, Steve had this idea. He said, geez, how can we get our clients involved with something a little more value-added and something we could do on the radio, because we get a lot of great results with our clients on radio, because it is a great forum and a great medium to advertise your business on. It's been that way for years. And even with all of the different social medias, radio still comes out number one.
It does.
All day long.
It does spectacularly,
Yeah.
Tom. People listen. I mean, the people listening right now, you're listening.
Right, and you're engaged.
And you had a lot of choices.
Yeah.
You could do a lot of different things, but you're listening and engaging. And then every week, everyone on the show, seriously, we were on the show, our phone rang. We were on the show, our phone rang.
Absolutely.
We heard a lot of people heard us.
We hear that all the time.
All the time. They're listening. They're engaged. And what you insisted, and to have us do, and I agree with it. You said it's got to be good radio, Steve.
Right.
It's got to be engaging, and it has been. Mm-hmm. So people get to know the folks on the show. They get to feel like they can trust them.
Well, you want to go into places like when you know somebody's name, you feel like, hey, I can go in there and say hello to the president or to this manager and all that, and it's kind of a neat feeling.
And I'd rather do business with someone that I feel like I can trust because I've heard some things. It wasn't a sales pitch. I feel like I know them.
Yeah.
I heard where they grew up, where they went to school, those kinds of things.
Yeah, it's a cool thing. Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts, really quickly, they've been around for quite some time, and boy, I've been editing some videos for their testimonials of people, and it's just amazing how people love John Murphy and Marie and the whole gang over there.
They really do, and every day they are helping people protect their home and life savings.
Yeah.
They've been doing that for 10 or 12 years, but now you'll hear all these people saying, we do it too. We do it too. Well, they teach it.
Yeah, they teach other attorneys.
They teach other attorneys how to do this stuff. And people say, well, I'll go online and do it. All right, you do that. You do that.
I'm not going to rely on that.
No, but you're right. When people have done business with them, they feel safe, they feel protected, they feel heard. And if the law changes, they change things as it goes along to help people do that. So if you haven't made a plan, to safeharborwillsandtrust.com,
Good.
Drop them a note.
You have a phone number for them?
I do. It's 370-9977. Write that down. It works better. 370-9977. Even on the weekend, you leave a message, they're going to get back to you.
Great. It's our pleasure right now to talk to a returning guest of the show. It's David Schneckenburger. He's the president of Thompson Johnson, thompsonandjohnson.com. How are you, David?
Doing great, Tom, Steve. Great being back here, seeing you.
Mr. Schneckenburger, not to be confused with Mr. Hoffmeister. What's that other thing?
I know Schneckenburger. He's not one of your people, Tom.
No.
Or Schenkenberger Meat Market.
Yeah, right. Hassenpfeffer. Mr. Hassenpfeffer.
Oh,
No,
yes.
It's not to be confused with him. So, David, what is your background? Are you a native of Syracuse?
I grew up in Oswego.
Oh, okay.
Went to school in Western Pennsylvania, worked in the Midwest for 5 years, and came back here in '81.
Okay. What'd you do in the Midwest?
I sold steel for a steel mill.
Okay. Boy, how do you sell steel? That's got to be
as a young man.
Yeah, as a young man.
Well,
and then you came back and did what?
I came back, went to work for my father-in-law. I married well.
Tom did that.
No, well, yes, of course. I think we all married well. Who can't say that?
So I married very well.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's been a great career so far. Our son just came in the business. He's a Marine pilot. He's been with us now for 3 weeks. So he's, as I said, drinking from a fire hose, learning our business. But it's exciting to have him working with us, so it's really good right now.
So what do you do?
What is your primary
what
business?
What is it that you guys do?
At Thompson
what do we
Johnson?
do? Thompson & Johnson. Primarily, we are a forklift distributor. So we sell, lease, repair forklift trucks primarily from Toyota, Crown, and Clark. Toyota and Crown are number 1 and number 2 in the industry. We're privileged to have the two of them in our back pocket, and we work very hard at taking care of our customers. We have a exceptional market share. We have 148 employees and 77 technicians, mechanics.
Wow.
So again, service is what our business is all about.
So right here in Syracuse, you employ. Are most of your people local?
We have branches in Elmira, Binghamton, and Elmira.
Okay. Well, that's not too bad. It's still around, expanded central New York,
true.
so to speak.
So
Right?
propane or electric?
80% of what we sell is electric.
Okay.
80%. Wow. Gee, the
Yeah,
federal
80%.
government should love you.
They do. So we're actually working with OCC right now because they want to expand their auto tech into electric vehicles.
All right.
And the the car dealers don't understand electrics yet, and that's our wheelhouse. So
Right.
we're working with them to help them expand their program. We're looking forward to that.
So do you have to plug them in at night, or how's that work with the forklift?
You can either plug them in at night and charge overnight, or you can plug them in during breaks and shift changes or lunch break. And it's called opportunity charging, and you can get a full charge back with lithium-ion batteries in less than 2 hours.
How long does a forklift last once on a full charge?
Typically 4 to 5 hours.
Oh, that's all, huh? I thought you'd
What's a
say
lot
like
but that's
8
working.
hours.
They
But
do
that-
work.
but
There's
that's
a
work.
lot.
Yeah, that's,
There's a
all
lot
right.
of energy that's pushing. What's the biggest challenge right now at the company?
Hiring mechanics, hiring technicians. We would hire 8 or 10 technicians tomorrow if we could find them.
So why should they work for you?
Our culture. We have a really good culture. We just came in third again for the best places to work in Syracuse,
no
Central
kidding.
New York, I should say. Excuse me.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's great.
Yeah, and we've come in second 3 times and third 3 times. But what's cool in the survey when the employees do it, it's an online anonymous survey. They have to use one word to describe Thompson Johnson, and then we get a word collage that uses all those words. And of course, in a word collage, the more the word is used, the bigger the font. And the biggest word, the largest font every time so far has been family.
Wow.
That's
So I think
wonderful,
again
yeah.
that goes to what our culture is. We're small enough that we can take care of employees when they have personal problems. We can be flexible. We are committed to training. So for the shortage on technicians, we have sign-on bonuses right now in the thousands of dollars
No kidding.
to entice somebody. But then you got to keep them, you got to retain them.
Right.
So we are right now in the middle of building out a 3,600 square foot training center. It'll be both classroom and lab to let us basically deliver our promise that when we hire someone, we're going to train you to be a top-level
So
technician.
if somebody was interested in maybe a better culture than their current experience,
Yes.
could they apply at thompsonandjohnson.com? Is that the place to connect?
They can apply online, absolutely.
And they can ask questions and see.
Can they use your name?
They can use my name.
Please. Can they spell his name?
Yeah, Hofmeister. No, Schneckenburger.
Okay.
Schneckenburger. It's not that bad.
It's phonetic.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And it do use his name. Say you heard him on the local show, and check out those opportunities. There's no need to worry we should be worried about inflation, but there's no reason to struggle with inflation. Get a job and work.
Right. And work,
Novel idea.
Yeah, right.
And work
What a
at a
novel
place
idea.
and work at a place where you like the people and like the culture.
Yeah, and where they're family
where
oriented,
they're family, that's
and you
great.
can still have a family. Hey, David, thank you so much for what you do and for employing people here and having a great business.
Thank you both. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Hey, coming up next, we're going to talk with Daniel Hartnett, Steve. He is the owner of Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, and we're going to talk to him right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.